What's going on, guys? One more episode here in the Vikings franchise before we get to the next off-season. I'm going to be previewing you guys the upcoming draft class because that's where we're going to be building our team and hopefully filling in some of the holes on this defense and our offensive line. And so going through, we're now in year 3 of this franchise, and so we're running out of players that I actually know because I don't follow a lot of college football. I've recognized some names here in the first year and the second year, and I recognize some in the third year, but not as many. Marcus Lattimore, if we needed the running back, I'd probably be the guy I'd focus on, but we got Adrian Peterson, so I haven't even looked at running back. I mean, when I used to play franchise, the fun part for me was always drafting these new running backs and quarterbacks, and right now we got Adrian Peterson and Christian Ponder. I'm not focusing on those positions, and so it's just working on defense and offensive line is the main priority, and also getting a new wide receiver in the offseason, in the draft or free agency somehow, but this is really not good. They have got to fix some of the imported draft classes here. I mean, if I had like a Justin Blackmon first-round prospect, top 5 wide receiver, well, the top prospect is James Logan. He's a third-rounder, and so that's just, they've got to let more players into here and make sure there's at least first-round talent for like every position. And going through here, left tackle, not an issue of concern for us. That's actually one of our bright spots, Nate Potter, as he had a great season now, a great rookie season, so 2 years in the league, and he's premiering as one of the better left tackles. Left guard, though, it all depends on Steve Hutchinson if he retires, and, well, we need depth there anyway. Depth on the offensive line is something we don't have, and if we have an injury to a starter, it's putting us in a really bad situation. Center, I'm not really sure about because Fusco had a good season, and he's got good potential, so maybe he could turn into something. But right guard is definitely something of a concern. Charlie Johnson and Chris DeGear at right tackle allowed a lot of sacks this season, and so there's opportunities here in the first round to take a right tackle. In the second round, there's Ciancio Henderson, bring him back to Minnesota. He went to high school at Cretin-Durham Hall. And then with defensive line, I get a lot of guys saying to trade Jared Allen, but he makes a big impact in the run game. And yeah, he doesn't get a lot of sacks, but that position really doesn't get a lot of sacks in Madden, and so I would not want to trade him. And plus, his contract is expired now, so I can't trade him. I could do a sign-and trade, but with Brian Robinson on the other side, I haven't seen a lot of progression, and this year wasn't a great season, and so it's something we're still going to work on. And then Kevin Williams is getting old, and also so is Jared Allen. I mean, we're 3 years into the future here. And then looking at linebacker, need someone. We have Vontaze Burfict in the middle. This was his rookie season, so he's just getting his feet wet, and we'll see how far he progresses. But on the other side, we need someone else who can be a run stopper because that's been our Achilles heel. We can't stop the run, and it's opening up too many holes in our defense, and so that's something we want to look at. And then in our secondary, I think it's actually one of our brighter spots. We have a lot of young talent there with good potential, and especially Jamel Fleming and Morris Claiborne, so I'm not really worried about corner, but there's a lot of really good prospects here. There's a Honey Badger Tyrann Mathieu, so if I need a cornerback, this is like the draft to do it in, but I've drafted cornerback in the top 2 rounds the last 2 seasons, and I failed to address offensive line in the draft last year, so I don't want to make those same mistakes. Take some more time with scouting and making sure I'm drafting the right players and the optimal needs are getting selected. And then safety is definitely something we have to look at, especially when I play zone coverage, because that's going to be our safety blanket over the top. Hussein Abdullah has struggled, Taylor Mays has struggled, Tyrell Johnson has struggled, and so getting a consistent safety in there that can also come down and get interceptions is important. And there is options in the first round for us. I've done a lot of scouting on defense this year, and so I'm trying to keep my options open for all these positions and make sure we can come away with some good talent with some great potential. And then special teams, not at all worried about this. I'm just showing everybody in here. I'm sure you guys know more of these players than I do. I don't follow a lot of college football, and I don't even see any Gophers in here. So, and just looking here at the records. Now, we're 6-10, but we're going to get a really good draft pick. We're here going to get the 6th pick in the draft. So we're in a good position for rebuilding here at the top 10 draft pick, and hopefully with some good scouting, combine scouting, pro days, individual workouts, we can find someone to really target. I'm not sure yet because, well, wide receiver would be nice, but defense is also a priority. But also you can run into situations where wide receiver isn't an option because the top prospect is scheduled to go in the 3rd round, so we have 2 full rounds of drafting before that, before you can even touch receiver. in a realistic manner. So we're not sure yet, but leave your guys' feedback here on who you guys want to see me draft, who I should pick up, and I've been really enjoying reading you guys' feedback on the recent videos. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the off season.